Hey guys, Randy with Pete's RV TV here today. Today I'm going to show you how to hook and unhook your new Trekker weight distribution system. So first thing about weight distribution systems is they are kind of like using a wheelbarrow, if you can visualize that. When you grab those two handles on the back of the wheelbarrow and lift up, it forces the front of the wheelbarrow down. Weight distribution does the same thing. So we have these bars here that we've got, you can see kind of angled down to the ground. Right now they're not 100% parallel with the A-frame. As we take these bars and lift them up and put them into the saddle here, what it's going to do is it's going to take that weight and force the front of the vehicle down. Hence the name weight distribution, and that's how it works. So it's pretty simple once it's explained to you. So the first thing I like to do is, obviously, I like to back my tow vehicle up and get the ball underneath the coupler. And we're going to want to put this guy on and hook it up and lock the coupler before we go to our next step, and I'm going to show you why. So I may need to bring this down as far as lifting the jack off the ground, putting all the weight on that ball to make sure I get a positive lock. And we should see this thing slide. Oop, there it goes. It slid forward. And I'm going to just even bring it down even more. Now I've hooked up enough trailers to know that this is as far forward as it needs to go, and it's going to give me a positive lock. But it may not be for you when you hook up, so I'm going to show you a way to test it. What we want to do next is we want to take this coupler and slide it forward, and we can see there's a spring on it, so it went very easy. But what you need to look out for, if you can see this little dog leg here, and Sage is zooming in on, that little notch, we need that notch to sit down in there, not allowing the coupler to slide back. If the coupler can slide back, it's going to unhook. If it can't slide back, we have a positive lock and we're safe to tow. At this point, you could even put a clip through there or a lock in there if you like. You can also use it to lock so someone can't steal your camper when you're not towing it. So at this point, we've got a good positive lock, and I'm going to use this electric tongue jack to lift the back of the tow vehicle and the front of the camper up past level, because remember, at level, we have a bunch of stress on those bars. So as I get older, I try to get smarter, and Sage may even be able to show you as we lift this guy up, we can see that bar coming in and getting level or parallel with the A-frame. And the higher I go, the easier it'll be to put on. Now every truck and trailer combination is a little bit different with their tongue jack, so you may need a block of wood if you don't have a foot pad like this particular one does to lift it up high enough. You want to make sure you don't run out of jack. Jacks will only extend so far, and if you overextend them, you could possibly damage the jack. So that's pretty good right there. Now with certain truck and trailer combinations, I can actually lift it up so far where I can just slide the bar on by hand. I do not need to use this tool, but I want to show you how this tool works. So how this guy works is it's going to be a lever to put the bar into the saddle. Now in school they told me if you've got a big enough lever you can move the world, and I believe that is correct, and we're going to see if that is true today. So we're going to take this bar, it's going to go right over here. We've got this bar in between the saddle here. Slide this in, and we can go ahead and lift up and snap onto the saddle. So at this point I'm going to do something that will definitely not hurt your hitch, but it's important to do, is I'm going to take and I'm going to kick the bar. By doing so, what I've done is freed this up so we can go ahead and put our pin in to not allow this to come off when we're going down the road. I'm going to store my pipe here for a moment. We're going to take this pin here, and Sage, if you can see, what we want to do is line this up with this to allow us to give us a good travel lock on that bar. So we're just going to slide that through, make sure this can't move, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put our pin in and get it pinned up. If I can get this pin in. All right. Now, let's assume I did the same thing on the other side. So at this point, what we can do is we can go ahead and lower and put the weight on the bars. Now with the bars locked in, we're going to get a good level trailer and a good level truck safe for towing. So we've got the weight on the bar and on the ball now, leveling our ride out. One of the things I didn't mention earlier is when we put this guy in here, we slide our bar in, make sure that the verbiage is up. It's going to tell us that we've got the appropriate notch to slide this pin through, and make sure when you put this pin through, it goes underneath here, not over the top. With it over the top, it can make contact with the hitch head, causing a little bit of damage. So make sure that we do clip that in from the bottom. So we've got the weight on the trailer now. We can go ahead and finish hooking her up. So I'm just going to set this here for the time being. Do not leave that there for transport, obviously. And I'm going to show you how to tighten up the weight distribution here in a moment as well. We're going to hook up my safety chains. Make sure we cross the chains when we're hooking them to the tow vehicle. Very important. It is a law. What it does is it creates a cradle in case the trailer were to ever come uncoupled. so it won't catapult the trailer. So as you can see, I've got the safety chains crossed there. This is going to be our breakaway switch. What this is for is if the trailer were to come undone from the hitch and the safety chains were to fail, this pin will pull out of this switch and cause the trailer brakes to lock up. And we want to hook this to the frame of the truck or the hitch. So I've got this little device on here. You can see I run a little bit different than most because I told a lot of different trailer combinations. If that is too low to the ground, we can change the routing of it. Just make sure that it can pull free and it's not going to come in any contact with any of our hitch gear. We go ahead and got that locked up there. So we're ready to tow. One thing that we've got to do is tighten up the anti-sway. So I'm going to take this pipe here, get rid of it, and then we're going to take this 1.25" wrench that does come with the trekker, and we're going to tighten up those red nuts on the top, providing our anti-sway protection. Now, one of the great things about the trekker is we can turn on and off the anti-sway properties. If you're ever caught towing in poor weather, i.e. icy or snowy roads, we probably don't want sway protection because that can actually push the tow vehicle around. But when we're towing down the road at highway speeds with our family in the vehicle, with our new trailer behind us, we want to make sure that we do have the anti-sway turned on. And the trekker weight distribution hitch is a premium sway product, so this gives the most sway protection out of any hitch that Pete's RV carries, and it's the one that we favor, especially for half-ton vehicles running the passenger vehicle rated tires or those P-rated tires. So at this point, we're going to tighten this thing up. Now in the instructions, I believe it says to put it at 40 foot-pounds of torque. Well, not many people carry around a torque wrench to set up their weight distribution. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it relatively snug, and then what we're going to do is give it another oomph. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now if you feel that you're getting a little sway out of this, you can add a little bit more to it when you stop for fuel or what have you. So we'll tighten this one up. And this one's actually pretty good, so we'll just give this one the oomph, and we are good to go there. So we have successfully hooked up our weight distribution. All I've got to do at this point is bring the jack up the rest of the way, test my lights, and we'll be ready to tow. Thanks for watching Pete's RV TV with Randy today. I look forward to seeing you on the road, and happy camping.